my husband's phone by accident and found out our entire marriage was a lie while he sat 20 feet away eating cereal. So his phone was on my nightstand, same model as mine, same ringtone. I was half asleep when it buzzed and I grabbed it without thinking. A text from his mom, fine. Underneath it a notification from someone named Kira. I don't know anyone named Kira. I opened it because my brain hadn't caught up yet, and by the time it did, I was staring at a photo no wife should ever see on her husband's phone, followed by a message that made it very clear this wasn't the first time. I sat in bed holding his phone while the shower ran in the next room. My hands were shaking so hard the screen kept going dark. I checked his contacts. She had a symbol next to her name, meaning they talked more than anyone else. I looked it up to be sure. When the results confirmed what I already knew, I put the phone back exactly where it was and stared at the ceiling until he came out toweling his hair like any other morning. He kissed my forehead on his way to the kitchen. I let him. I'm 11 weeks pregnant. He doesn't know that I know. He's sitting in the recliner scrolling through his phone while I try to figure out how to say words that will end everything. He kept asking if I was okay throughout the day. Every hour. You seem off. Are you feeling alright? I smiled and said I was fine, and my voice sounded like it belonged to someone else. I told my sister having a rough night and I was staying with her. He kissed me at the door. I drove to her apartment and sat in the parking lot for 5 minutes because the second I walked in and said it out loud, it would become real. My sister pulled me inside before I finished the first sentence. She handed me water and sat me on the couch and spent 2 hours combing every corner of the internet for this woman. Found her through a mutual connection on social media. She works at a firm near his office. He goes to that building regularly for lunch with his friend. That's how they met. Over sandwiches and small talk while I was home reading baby name books and picking out nursery colors for a family that was already broken and I didn't know it yet. I called my uncle that night. He's a divorce lawyer. Said I needed to meet immediately. He said tomorrow morning. No questions. The next evening I sat across from my husband at our kitchen table and said her name. His face did everything his mouth was about to lie about. White, then red, then fake confusion half a second too late because the truth had already crossed his face before he could catch it. He said she was nobody. They barely talked. She sent things to everyone. I asked why he never mentioned her. Nothing to mention. I asked if he'd ever received anything inappropriate. He said not on purpose. I asked what that meant. He raised his voice and said he didn't need to be interrogated. Then he said the thing that snapped something inside me. People warned me you'd get crazy when you were pregnant, but I didn't think it would be this bad. My mother raised me to never yell. She told me a message delivered quietly lands just as hard as one screamed. I have lived by that my entire life. This was the exception. I told him I wasn't crazy and I wasn't hormonal, and I knew exactly what I saw. He said I shouldn't have looked at his phone. I said even if it wasn't an accident, there shouldn't be anything worth hiding. I asked to see his messages. Texts were clean. I asked for the rest. His face crumbled like a building coming down floor by floor. He cried, said the messages would hurt me, said they were inappropriate, then it all came out. They slept together the first night they met. It had been going on for months. They didn't always use protection. He sat there sobbing and telling me he was sorry while I did the math in my head and realized he'd been sleeping with her before and after I told him about the baby. What? I didn't scream, didn't throw anything. Told him to leave, hotel or her place. I didn't care. He packed a bag and walked out. I called my mom and sister and they came and I cried until I ran out of tears and then kept going anyway. My uncle says we'll handle him in court. I'm not asking for spousal support because I don't need his money. I will ask for child support because this baby didn't choose any of this. The only thing I'm fighting for is the house because I built that home with my own hands and he doesn't get to take it too. My father told me last night that weak people are afraid of strong people and I should keep terrifying the weak ones until the only people still standing beside me are the ones brave enough to stay. I'm going to be fine. Not today, but soon, because I have to be, and because she's worth it, and because the woman I was before I picked up that phone would be proud of the woman I became after I put it down.